Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Slay the Princess of the Pristine Cut. Thank you, Serenity Forge, for the code. We are off to start another loop because we aren't doing any step 5s because we don't actually need the ending. So, new game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright, cool. We are off to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
What? No, why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
Proceed.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I need to double check something on adversary. I just had a moment of doubt. Okay, we're good. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Alright, we are going to drop a save right around here. And play the princess.
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count all right.
You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle.
No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
Keep pushing.
The princess's grin widens as the two of you push against each other, her fiery eyes and masochistic glee practically lighting up the dreary cave.
Yes, you get it, don't you?
I do.
Nothing exists outside of us. It's just you and me, dying and coming back, clashing against each other. Forever.
That's not what's going on. There's an entire world at stake here.
Yes, the fate of the world doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this fight. The only thing that matters is getting stronger. And the only way to get stronger is to win, even if it takes us forever to get there.
Your balance is suddenly thrown off as the princess pulls you into her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. As she strikes you again, you hear the whine of straining metal, and then a snap. It would appear that she's loose.
We're fine.
But you barely have enough time to notice before the princess follows up and smashes her forehead against yours. Your grip loosens from the impact, the blade still wedged in her arm as you tumble to the cold stone floor.
I said we're fine.
I didn't say you weren't fine. I was just describing what happened. You might not have said as much, but you certainly implied it. It really doesn't matter. The princess glances down at the blade embedded in her arm, and with near total ignorance to pain, slides it out of its sinewy prison.
You forgot this.
She tosses it at your feet.
Aren't you jumping the gun a little here? We each died once. That doesn't mean we're immortal.
How much more proof do you need? Would it help to watch me rise from the dead with your own two eyes? Fine. Go ahead. Stab me in the heart. See what happens.
The princess throws open her arms, exposing her chest. Is she really just going to let you slay her? Do it. Do it right now, before she changes her mind. Hold on. What if this is a trick? If she's leaving herself open like this, there's only one way we can strike at her. For all we know, she's 3 steps ahead of us.
3 steps ahead of us? Have you met her? This isn't a trick.
And how would you know that?
Because I wouldn't think to trick us, so why would she?
That's a great point, so please stop hesitating and end this now.
Slay the princess.
The princess remains unflinching as you run her down, her stoic expression once again curving into a knowing smile as the pristine blade buries deep into her heart. Did she really just let us do that? Apparently, yes.
See you soon.
And then she stumbles back into the wall, the blade still lodged firmly in her chest. She collapses to the ground. She's dead. It's over. It's finally over.
But it can't be over. She said she'd be back.
I know that the two of you had some sort of weird bond, but look on the bright side. Now we don't have to die. Isn't that nice?
No, it's not nice. I wanted to fight her forever. This is shit. It's not fair.
Life isn't fair, but what's done is done, and whether you like it or not, the entire world is in your debt for saving it from ruin. I'm sure in due time you'll learn to live with yourself. Let's just get out of here. Yes, that sounds like a splendid idea.
Turn and leave.
Thank you for listening to reason. For a second there, I was concerned you'd bought into that stubborn one's madness.
Madness? I'm the only sane one here. I understand what we're supposed to be. The rest of you are in denial.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the base of the stairs. It's time for you to move on to a new, safer chapter of your life.
I'm telling you, she's coming back. She said she's coming back.
She's not.
She is.
She's not coming back. She's dead. Your blade is embedded in her heart. You slew her. It's over. I don't know how many more times or how many different ways I need to express this objective reality before it finally makes its way through your dense skull.
How many different ways have you got left to express it? Because it'll take a hell of a lot more to convince me that she's not coming back.
Oh, I've got plenty. Can the two of you stop arguing?
No!
Yes! I told you I'd be back.
What was that?
You know what that was?
Yes. That's the sound of the entire world being shit out of luck.
Are you walking away from me? You didn't think this would work, did you? I can't believe you were just going to leave me here.
You turn around and see the princess stumbling to her feet, one hand wrapped around the hilt of the blade you buried in her heart.
You're not getting out of this that easy.
She pulls the weapon from her chest, barely wincing, and hurls it at your feet.
You know what to do. Again!
But she came back. What's the point of fighting her if she can just do that? All of you need to settle down. This whole situation is coming dangerously close to untethering. She clearly never actually died. You just missed her heart, that's all. Oh, we just missed her heart? Oh, of course, that's all. You were the one who said we hit her heart. You were the one who said it was finally over. Well, I guess I had it wrong. You guess you had it wrong? Aren't you supposed to know everything? I never said I knew everything.
Alright. Let's load that save. I double check something because I'm still paranoid. As I was saying, let's load that save. Excuse me, game. And we are leaving.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy creak of straining metal. And then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision, and you have to make it fast.
Run like hell.
You do your best to scramble up the stairs before the princess can reach you.
You coward.
You practically feel her steamy breath on the back of your neck, but you manage, just barely, to throw yourself over the threshold and slam the heavy stone doors behind you. You're safe, if only for a moment.
Do you think this door is enough to hold me? You're not getting out of this. I don't care how many things I have to break. I'm getting the fight I want.
The entire cabin shakes as the princess throws herself against the basement door. It's huge and made of stone. We're fine, right?
Of course we are. Any second now she's gonna break through that entryway. And we're finally going to get to do what we came here to do.
Another impact shakes the cabin, a massive gash splitting its way up the stone doors.
Here she comes.
The doors explode outwards, shards of stone clattering against the walls as the princess emerges from the basement.
Stop running.
We're doomed! In a fit of violence, the princess explodes across the room and closes the gap between you. You do your best to defend yourself from her onslaught, but you're sorely outmatched. For every wound you inflict on her, she inflicts 2 on you until, finally, you're no longer able to so much as stand. Your body is giving out.
Giving out? No, nobody's giving out. We're just getting started.
Don't be delusional, it's over. You fall to your knees.
Is that it? You're supposed to be tougher than this. Come on, get up, keep fighting me.
No, this isn't right. Listen to me. Listen to her. We can do this.
We can't.
Why won't you get up?
She kicks you in the chest, splinters from your shattered ribs stabbing into your heart and lungs. Your vision starts to swim. Finally, her face, twisted into an expression of disappointment and fury, fades. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Eye of the needle.
You're on a path in the wood.
If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you.
Alright, proceed.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it!
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You do see it, right?
All we see is a damned mirror.
It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean?
Mash.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
Continue.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh. Break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're going to do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Alright. Slay the princess.
Change of plans, boys.
Impatient. This is her home, not ours. You're going to let her kill us. You charge headlong into the princess, blade flashing in the dim light of the basement.
Yes, yes, Finally, you get it!
For a moment, the scales feel balanced, each of you inflicting debilitating wounds on the other, striking in a dizzying synchronicity. But it isn't long before they tip in her favour. The cuts and bruises you've inflicted seem little more than superficial, barely so much as slowing her down as she continues her onslaught. You, in contrast, are finding it harder to stand as your body gradually becomes less responsive, less powerful, less stable. You can tell she's trying to make it last, but all it would take is one meaningful strike. The coup de grace.
This was good, but you could have been so much better. I'm beyond you now.
Here it comes. I'll see you all on the other side.
But the other side doesn't come. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Ignore. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Voices feel small, distant, as you approach. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. You're at the cabin.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Alright. We are double checking before saving to make sure Eye of the Needle is done. Eye of the Needle is, in fact, done. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider tossing a like, comment, subscribe. Maybe click that little bell for notifications. Also consider checking out the description below. Various links, social media, Discord. Come hang out. Get notifications there as well. And thank you, Serenity Forge, for the code. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!